Hi guys, it's Danny. I have put together this drawing and quote, and I'm going to kind of finish it up. I had done all of this real time drawing, and Barkley's trying to get me now. Barkley's trying to give me a hug. Thank you. I'm trying to talk to people on my iPad that got messed up. So I'm going to try to maybe put at the end of this video the whole process that led up to it, to creating this, even though there's no sound. I'll like speed it up or something, because what my idea was for this, and I talked about this a little bit before, but the sound wasn't working. So I had the idea that I would talk about a quote while drawing it. So this is something I do almost every night. It's a hobby. It's part of my job. I don't really know what it is, but I feel like there's something you're doing all the time and you enjoy it. It might be something that other people either want to hear about or just want to see that you're passionate about it or something. I don't know. That's what I like to see when I watch YouTube videos and other people. Something that they do all the time and they feel, I don't know, you kind of get their confidence and their enthusiasm for whatever project it is from them. Even if it's something like, I don't know, like that you don't do a lot, it's just a cool thing to watch. And so I thought that would be kind of a cool idea to sort of do a drawing like the one have done here and a quote with it. And while doing the quote, talk a little bit about the concept. So in this case, I wanted to talk about what being open-minded is, why I think it's important, which I did talk about for close to an hour while making this, but that's fine. We'll see that sped up at the end. But the basic gist of it is how important, sorry, I keep doing this with this, but first of all, I think it gets boring and it's hard to tell like what's going on if nothing's moving and I'm not drawing anything, but there you go, I can draw something. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this topic because I think it's important and because it's coming up a lot for me personally lately. So I went back to some old blog posts and was sort of looking at what I had written before because some of my most popular posts are in fact about being open-minded. So I thought, why not reflect on those a little bit while I'm drawing this quote. So there's some interesting thoughts in there. I'll leave those in the description box below if you want to check out what I've written about the topic. But one of the things I was most drawn to while I was working on this, which hopefully in the future I'll do more of these where I'm drawing and talking and explaining and talking about the quote and stuff. So you'll see more what I mean since this one didn't get that full thing. But one thing I was doing while I was drawing was, I would zoom in and then I would zoom out. And it started to make me think, how does this action, which I do so often, how does this relate to the concept of being open-minded? And, my thought was, when I was zoomed in here, looking, oh, this looks like it could be erased on some level down here maybe. There's something to erase. So this is what was happening before, like real-time stuff. So anyway, so I zoom in super close to erase that. And, what I see here is this like periwinkle color, the pink and the raindrop, and that's like all I can see. Even if I move a little bit, I'll maybe see a couple more raindrops or whatever, but like if I were to zoom out, to open my mind, to have exposure to new things, you're getting so much more. You're getting this whole quote over here. Come on, I'm trying to circle things like a teacher. So you get this whole quote. You get, your clouds, which is where the rain came from. Your sun, which you didn't even see before. The rainbow, which obviously is my favorite. That there are more, other clouds over here that you didn't even know about. That this guy said this quote that's apparently floating in the sky. Whatever. You get the point that if you're zoomed in super close and you've got a narrow mind and a narrow focus, you're missing out potentially on so many amazing things. Now, yeah, you might also be exposed to things that aren't great or things that like, ooh, I saw that and You know, let's say you are a raindrop and you notice, ooh, there's a sun and it's going to eventually cause you to evaporate, and that's terrifying, and you maybe don't want to think about that all the time. That's cool. You don't have to. You don't even have to accept it. You can be like, you know what, I heard that rumor that there's a sun, but I, take the facts and I reject them, whatever. Whatever you want to have, whatever beliefs, go ahead. Like, go ahead with yourself. Have them. But be open to new ones, because you can't really be certain of your own beliefs if you don't know what, like, other things are, if that makes sense. So let me work on this lettering a little bit and see what other thoughts might come up, because I certainly had a lot of thoughts earlier when I was initially working on this, and the only one I really remember is the one about the zooming in. So we'll see. I try, personally, let me zoom in here to do these letters. I personally try, so what I'm tracing here is something I wrote earlier, but I don't really like it. And I'm trying to decide, like, do I do, oh, there's a dog barking outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I don't know how good this is, but the sound. Okay, so I'm trying to see right now if I would like a different style. So I'm trying another form of my handwriting. I don't really know, like, why I didn't like that scripted one, to be honest. I drew it first, and it looks like a shadow right there, doesn't it? Like a shadow of the eye. That is interesting. Okay, let me turn this. Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. Okay, so I don't really know if I love that either. Let's see if I end up putting this back all the way up. I think that's what it is that's bothering me about it, is that it's too thick. So changing the opacity makes it feel better, because not so like, whoa, big black letters in your face. It's like subtle. So I have a couple options here. Like, if I was in a hurry, I might just like do it like that, but I'm just not wanting it like that right now. And there's no reason why I shouldn't get crazy and rewrite the entire thing, especially because you guys didn't see it the first time that I did it, or you won't have seen it in real time with me talking, because who doesn't want to hear me talking while I'm drawing letters? Anyway, so in addition to sort of just the open-minded part of this quote, I think another key aspect is the wonder. It's not, I feel like wonder, and I don't have the technical definition. I don't feel like looking it up at the moment. But I feel like, to me, wonder is like more about like asking questions and being curious, and open-minded might just be, Berkeley is trying to go out. It's very annoying. Berkeley, you need to stop. She's a little bit annoying. If anybody's ever seen her in my videos, you know what I'm talking about. But she's worth it. And anyway, back to what I was saying about wonder. It's more about like asking questions and being curious than an open mind. To me, almost seems passive. Like, okay, I'm gonna open my mind, and then other people bring their ideas to me. Whereas wonder seems more like, I'm just chilling here with my own ideas, minding my own business, but now I'm wondering what that person thinks about that, or that, group of people would think, or how would so-and-so react to this news, or, when it comes to like the political stuff, like, well, what does the other side think, and, why do we even have sides, and what would it be like if we, try to like join forces and like work together or something, like just all these ideas that I'm wondering all the time, in addition, My God, Barkley just jumped on the bed with her ball. I thought she'd gone to the other room to like chill and she wasn't gonna bother me. And now she's aggressive. Go get your ball. I don't know why she's so wild today. Because I'm talking. Maybe she thinks I'm talking to her. Am I even making this any thinner? Or am I just like literally tracing this? Okay. No, it does look better. But not that great. I'm going to start over. So I guess in some ways it's good that you guys didn't see the whole 30. No, it wasn't 30. There was one video that was 22 and one video that was 32 minutes long. In addition to whatever this is going to be. So it's probably for the best that it wasn't recording. Anyway, back to what I was talking about before. So rudely interrupted. Oh, I remember I was going to turn down the brush size. It'll make it easier for me to make it skinnier. Because I can literally just trace it exactly or close to exactly as you can see. But because I'm using this brush, I feel like maybe there's a better way to do this. Or maybe somebody who is more experienced would be like, oh, just put that on your computer and like edit it there and like da da da. But I don't know, like I just, ever since I got this iPad, swear all I want to do is be on the iPad. Like I just love it. And I feel like it's just so, I don't know, there's so much more, at least for me, like control with like putting the actual pen on the screen, which I think people did before with tablets. I'm sure people still do with tablets. They're not like obsolete, but I just don't think there's anything comparable to this feeling, in my opinion. But that is a rambly off track. The point of this whole video being that I'm going to kind of go from train of thought to how I'm drawing this to what the quote is about and back and around. Who knows? I don't know if I'm doing this right. I feel like that thing's got out of hand, but I can't tell if the new one is wrong or the old one. Barkley's scratching the door again. Alright, so back to this wonder concept. Like, what I wish we would all do is try not just saying, like, I'm open-minded to other people and ideas. Because a lot of people say that. Especially if somebody comes at them and says, you're not being open-minded. And they're like, well, I'm always open-minded. Because that's just what people do. They don't want, like, it's one of those things that, I guess not all people. Like, some people are probably like, I'm closed-minded and I don't care. But a lot of people don't want to be closed-minded. It's not like a good quality, so people are going to deny it. And the more they deny it to you, the more they might deny it to themselves. Hold on just a moment. I have to deal with Barkley. I'm going to come back. Okay, I'm back. Barkley's having a hard time with me drawing and talking and not thinking it's somehow about her. Anyway, so as I was saying, it's not just about saying you have an open-minded. It's actually like being more active. And that's what I feel like this quote gets at, is the whole wonder concept. And wondering, not just like being like, I'm cool with what other people are doing and I'm an open-minded person, but actively saying like, what would other people think about this? Or, what might this new thing mean for other people, not just about yourself? Even if you like disagree with that person's beliefs or whatever, I think that, I don't know, it's important to not be passive about it. Does that make sense? I really don't know if I'm making a whole lot of sense. But I'm getting distracted. What I'm doing here is redrawing this because once I did the other one in the brush that was lighter, then this one looks crazy. So now I'm going to do this one later. As I said before, this name is very confusing to me because I'm pretty sure it's Jerry. But because every Jerry I know uses a J, because Jeremiah is like a family name, so Jerry is a really common nickname for us, but it's with a J, so it looks weird to me. So it looks like Gary, but I'm pretty sure it's not Gary. Maybe it is Gary. I don't know. I don't know this person. All I know is I like that it's a quote that I feel takes open-mindedness to the level I would like it to be, where it's not just, I have an open mind or I'm an open-minded person, because I think a lot of people either believe that or want to believe that, if that makes sense. Because it is so, I feel like, socially wrong, I feel like, and kind of discredits you, any argument you were to make. Like, if you were to say, like, if you're taking politics, for example, and you were to say, I'm not at all open-minded to the other side, like, then anything else you were to say would seem possibly crazy, because you immediately say, I don't know, maybe some people do this. Maybe they do say, like, I have no understanding for the other side. But I think most people want to say, I'm incredibly open-minded and I think about the other side of things. And I just don't think that side is right, let's say. Like, let's say, for example, politics, but really that's obviously what I've been thinking a lot about. And I'm not trying to get super political. Anybody who knows me can probably guess where I stand on things. But I think what I'm trying to do is ask people and encourage people to be open-minded with everything. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, especially with things that you feel you've seen before or you've experienced before, or you have some sort of knowledge or background on. It's tempting to say, oh, well, there's nothing to be open-minded to on the other side. Like, there's nothing that makes any logical sense, or I don't know, whatever you want your argument to be. I think, most people are going to try to avoid saying that, like, especially people with a lot of, I don't know, sense. You want to appear open-minded so that your arguments, whatever your arguments might be, seem less biased. But despite the fact that we all, or many of us, want to seem or feel open-minded, I feel like there's this level, and I feel a little bit repetitive now, but I'm just sort of thinking out loud as I'm drawing, which, by the way, I'm just doing additional downstrokes next to the downstrokes on all my letters, and then I will either leave it like that, or I will probably fill them in. I'm not sure. We shall see. But back to what I was saying. We all, and when I say all, you know that I don't mean every single person, because that's crazy, but most of us want to seem open-minded, and we don't want to think of ourselves as people who immediately shut something else out without fully understanding it or whatever. So we're all, let's say, on that level. But even if you think you're open-minded, it's not the same as that wonder bit. And that is why I picked this quote, because the wonder, and this is the thing with picking these quotes, it's like, I don't know if people really get into them when they read them, or if they just kind of quickly look at them, or in this case, do they just look at the picture and they're like, ooh, I like that rainbow, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, I'm just creating these things because I want to create them, not because they have to, like, convey my message. Like, that's not the point. point is for people to take them and do what they want with them. But I feel like this video situation is kind of fun because I can talk about my thoughts on the quote as well as showing you my drawing, and that way you kind of get where I'm coming from. Plus, I do this all the time, so I really like it, and I feel like I'm good at these things separately, and by these things I mean drawing on my iPad and analyzing quotes to death, but also I don't know if I'm good at them at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, some activities might be too much. And for one, this takes a really long time for you guys to watch. For me, this is kind of like what I'm doing anyway. I'm trying to decide if we want, like, here's some options we could do. This, which, let me show you on this letter just to give you a little bit of context. I just kind of randomly leave some parts white so it looks like they're shiny. Or we just go full on. And that is a decision that I decided to go with the little white bits. I don't know if that's what to call it, shine? Something? I'm sure there's a reason. I mean, a word. See, this is my point. I'm not sure I can draw and talk, and I'm literally doing the easiest, most, I don't know, basic thing for me. So if I'm having trouble doing this while talking, I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. I'm just trying this out. I don't even have to publish it if I don't want to. Anyway, I think we need to ask more questions, really. I spend so much of my time asking questions, and sometimes it's exhausting, I'm not going to lie. But more often than not, it leads me to new information, whether it's about myself or about the world or about somebody else, or like, I mean, I just feel like I know so much more every year, every month even. And I think part of it is because I'm asking questions and I'm, doing research on things that I'm like interested in. And I don't know. Maybe this isn't good advice. Like, go research all the things. I don't know if that's really what I'm trying to say, but I do feel like that being curious bit, and part of it is, a personality thing. Like, some people are more curious and inquisitive and stuff than others, and like one isn't better than the other. It's just kind of the way it is. But I think we should all. See, I'm kind of pulling back, getting the big picture. I think we should all basically try to be a little bit more inquisitive, more curious, more, wondering or wonder-filled. I'm not sure which word I want to use there. Anyway, about other people and what is going on and what, I don't know, bigger picture stuff, especially when it comes to the politics and stuff, because I feel like it's just a little crazy, and to be honest, I sometimes struggle to stay positive with it because I feel like it's overwhelming, and I think regardless of where you stand on what's going on in the world, it's like you can't help but be overwhelmed by information of any kind, really. I mean, there's like a lot going on, and there always is in the world. It's not new. I think people are maybe paying attention in ways that they weren't before, or at least some people are. But either way, it can be stressful regardless, or really of any information you're taking in, if you have to take a lot of it in. And also, being open-minded doesn't mean just consuming as much information as possible. Like, that's not what I'm trying to argue either, because I think I probably consume more information than necessary on a lot of things. I know a lot of facts about a lot of things that are not necessarily useful because I'm always like, wonder what that is, and let me look it up. Or I wonder what those people are like. Let me study their culture and go down like a rabbit hole of the internet so I can learn everything about like their ancient civilization, which is like really not maybe the best use of my time. But I have to say that I do feel like I feel better about the world, and when I encounter new things, it's all like filtered in some weird, crazy way through what I already know. And I don't know, I just think it's cool. I think it's cool to wonder things and to actively try to find answers or understanding or at least perspective. And that's another thing about being open minded. Like, just because you're open minded doesn't mean you're accepting everything that somebody else or some other situation presents itself as, or, whatever. You don't, it's not the same thing. It's just being like willing to think about it from a new way and, to hear out other people's ideas or, as I've been saying, like actively seek out more information or clarify information or not take things, at face value and say, you know what, like my mind is open to the idea that maybe everything I see isn't, exactly what it might appear at first glance because so much of what we encounter on a daily basis is skewed through a variety of different lenses. Some even our own internal lenses, like things that we've read or done or seen before, kind of like gets filtered through that. And so you kind of got to take like a second look, if you know what I mean. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about mostly, which really could all have been done in like a sentence or a paragraph. But luckily for you guys, I wanted to do this weird drawing thing. And doubly luckily for you guys is that most of it did not record properly. So you don't have to listen to like 2 hours of me babbling on about, I don't even know what. I mean, I do know what I was talking about. A lot of the stuff I've just talked about in this particular video, but maybe I was talking in a lot more detail, more unplanned, because once I started this video, I had like already had a thought, so they were a little bit more organized, very slightly more organized. What I'm doing here, if you couldn't figure out, was trying to put it closer together because it just didn't, it felt like it was really spread out. So here's the thing. Now that it's closer together, I think that I don't want the highlight on there, which is super. So there's a couple things I can do. One, sometimes I like to do this and just duplicate the layer and then like nudge it and see if it changes things. Like, see how that highlight kind of got removed? This maybe isn't the best example, but sometimes you can like scoot it over and the highlight is gone, and then it also looks a little different and cool, and it's not happening with this one, so we're not going to worry about it, but just telling you, that's something that can happen. So sometimes I like to check that out. Again, keep an open mind. You never know. And I definitely think, like, as cheesy as it is to say, like, drawing and stuff, and especially in the line of work that I do, like drawing quotes and thinking about what might go with that quote. Like, not all the time do I do that. Like, sometimes it's just completely random. It's like, I want to draw, a field of flowers, and here's a quote, and cool, they can go together. Like, that's fine. Let me just make sure I'm liking how this looks. I don't know. Now I kind of like the highlight. Maybe it needs more highlight. Like a beauty guru. Give me all the highlight. Oh God. Okay, so I have to erase, and I want to erase using the same brush. I don't know if it's going to be right size. No. I want to make it teeny. And then just see if more highlighting looks better. Why am I singing? Oh God, no. It looks like it has polka dots or something. Polka dots. Polka dot, polka dots. Alright. Couple things. We're gonna keep it like this. We gotta fix that guy. We gotta erase a little of that guy. And sorry. I mean, this is not the best lettering I've ever done in my life. Let's be for real. But I think I was talking about something and then I got distracted. I don't know if this whole talking and drawing is a good plan. Or, I don't know, maybe it is interesting. I can't tell if I would find it interesting listening to somebody else do it or if I just want to do it myself. But I guess it doesn't matter. What matters is if you find it interesting. I'm like, am I selfish or am I selfish? Like, that's not the point of anything. All right, I'm done with that other idea. I don't know if I said this in this video or just the other one, but I'm always deleting the layers. Like, I try to organize it. I don't know if it's a waste of time or not. Anyway, I feel like this could use something or something isn't right about it. Maybe a shadow. Let me show you how to make a shadow. You duplicate this. You're going to knock down the opacity. Then you're going to do this. And then you're going to tap where you sort of want the shadow to go. Let's look at that opacity setting again. Turn it down a little more. Then we're going to gauge and blur. Oh, too much blur. Okay, it's not dark enough. These things, they're so finicky. So I'm going to make it darker, but then Gaussian blur more. Now it's too dark. I don't know what. You know, maybe I don't want it too black. Oh my God, I am out of control. These things take me so long, and there's no reason for it. Oh God, that is not what I wanted to do. This layer wasn't locked. Alright, let's see what we got if we turn that puppy off. Oh, no, we're gonna have that. We gotta have the shadow. Whoa, I'm moving the white layer. I don't like that white layer. Let's fill it with a random color and see what we think of that. Nope. Okay. So this is kind of an interesting lesson on being open-minded because I'm trying to be open-minded here in terms of showing you how I try things. I just don't like it. Don't know why. I feel like maybe it's not the lettering. I think maybe it's that this is like lettering is more detailed. I don't know why, but I guess that shine gives it more detail, and then I feel like this needs some detail or something. Maybe I could just make some shine on all of these things too. Let's see. Whoops, that is not going to work because we need to be on this layer, and I guess we just need to be in the colored one. I don't know. That's what I want. I think it's too small. Too small. Oh God, somebody's coughing outside. Sounds terrible. I know. This happened to me before one time, and I realized I think what is bothering me. Let's see if I'm right. I'm not sure. But I think it might be that this isn't coming off as shine. It's coming off as subtracted area because the background is not a white. Does that make sense? Like, right, see, background were white, that would look like this, and then it would look like shine, or the letters are kind of shiny or something, but because, see how like that first first line of text now looks, I don't know, like more realistic or something. I don't know the science of it. All I know is that sometimes weird things just make it look better. And it could just be in my head. I don't even know, like, what it's gonna look like. Oops. Getting all excited. What it's gonna look like if... Yeah, see? It looks so much better to me. I don't know if I still want to do this over here. I shall see. Where was I? Yes, wonder. The most important word of this whole thing. It's really what we need to all do. And a particularly good way of wondering when it comes to open-mindedness is trying to imagine, you know, the old saying, what it would be like to walk in somebody else's shoes. I think that saying, I don't know, I don't feel like I've heard it a lot recently. I don't think, you know, we try to, as, I guess as a culture, when I say the culture, it's always about like the people I follow and stuff and the internet. I can't speak for everybody, but I think a lot of people I know try to, you know, think that they're good, open-minded people, but, you know, I don't know how many of us, myself included at times, like, really are like, wow, what would it be like to walk in somebody else's shoes? Does this look like a dagger coming out of the, like, top of the world or what? I'm trying to decide if I want to do, like, shine. But I don't really know. See, this is, like, where some of the, I'm not sure what the heck I'm doing comes in. Because now I feel like the letters look better. I feel like this should have shine. Maybe it's only things that are, like, wet. Why are the letters wet? I guess they could be like ink. Maybe is that the point? I don't know. I don't know why any of these things are the way they are. You know, like if somebody was like a professional letterer, they would be like, oh, I can tell you exactly why you do this. And I'm just like, does it look good? Okay, cool. I like it. I don't know if I like these white things on there. I don't know. Should have done it on a separate layer so that I could just delete it. Wait. Make sure all my letters got there. Alright, now I'm going to try black and see. No, why are you so white? Go back. Alright, see if maybe these appeal to me. Sort of a little, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know right now. Maybe I'm going to tone this down. Oh, that's pretty. Pretty. Alright, do you want to just play with these? Oh, God. Interesting. Oh, darker. This is like one of my favorite things to do. Like, I'm not going to lie. And I think it actually applies to this quote in some weird way. Because you start like normal when you're drawing. If you're familiar with this, you know that. And if you're not familiar with this and you're still watching, like, hi, you're amazing. This is a ridiculous video. Anyway, so you press on these things and it changes the way it looks. And I'm not an expert. I don't know why. It's math and science. Ooh, look at that. That's interesting. But what I like about it is that it gives you new ideas. Like, do you not want your clouds to look like poop brown? Okay, well, at least you have that idea in your head now. Ooh, that's pretty, the pastel. I don't like the way the clouds look. But, you know, that's because I screwed up and that was my fault, and now I got to deal with the consequences, which is why it really is a good idea to do things properly the first time. Then you don't have to deal with this nonsense. Anyway, what was I doing? I didn't want to do any of those. I wanted to dig. Oh, that's not going to work. Unless, oh, I can merge these. Smart thinking. Now I can see all those. Ooh, see, that's gorgeous. And like random. Wow. This is so dumb. But, oh, that looks nice. See, this is like being open-minded. This is what I'm talking about, okay? I know I'm talking about drawing and like really specific stuff on this iPad, but like think about all these ideas. Like I would never in my life think that. Like that would not come to me. But I see it out there and I'm like, all right, like that's cool. And then like maybe down the road I'll decide to do a drawing or something that's like different shades of the same color because of that. Like, I don't know. Having an open mind, it does things to you. Like that is cool. I like that. Like I would consider that as a drawing, although I feel like I like the black lines. I really have noticed that I like this color dodge. Whatever. Anyway, let's just chill and do like a little bit pastel-y. Pastel-y. So then, alright, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to go up here and play around with this. Ooh, yes. Yes. Yes, yes. But here's the thing. I want my real black lines. So, wow. See, I love doing this. It changes things. It's like this slider is just full of new ideas. And there's so many sliders. Like, what is this color combination? If you don't, like, try it out, whoa, just, I mean, first of all, gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get a grip. My point is, keep an open mind. Even that's cool. And all the things I'm doing right now, just think. Imagine applying that to everything in life. And not just, wow, that's really pretty. I'm so into this right now. Not surprisingly, I like the teal. Oh, that's pretty too. See all these things you can discover if you just like explore a little? I want to see. Oh, I forgot the clouds were even purple. No wonder I liked that because that's so standard. And so then, like, for example, this is a great lesson in open-mindedness. I realized, okay, those blue clouds look cool, but, like, that wasn't what I was really going for. I'm actually about purple clouds right now. Like, that's, or periwinkle or whatever. Like, that's my vibe. So, I'm just doing that. I'm going to try this. Try playing around with this. See, I almost like white better. Ooh, or like a really aggressive color. I'm so aggressive with color sometimes. I do like that. Sometimes it gets like too bright with the teal and I'm like, whoa, chill. And you get too dark and you're just like, I'm depressed. Actually, I like that color. Not for this, but like an autumn nail color or something. I don't know. Getting too excited by colors right now. I do kind of like the pink. Maybe it's just too dark. I think that's what I had before. I had tuned it down. Maybe it's not dark enough. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Any color in this corner is like my thing. Like, yep, I like that. It's all all like the brightest, not brightest, most saturated, maybe? I don't know. That's not the point. Oh no, I'm not in the background anymore. I wish I had like, was doing this live and I could have like a vote. What kind of color should I do? Look how cool it is that you can just be like, now I wanted this color, this color. Like, that's just so good. I love it. I love my iPad. And I feel like part of the reason, I think I'm going to leave it at this statement, because this is just me trying colors at this point, and you'll see what the final thing is like anyway. But what I want to leave you with, after 150 hours of me talking and drawing this, most of which you missed because I didn't record it properly, but the ultimate point I want to convey is that being open-minded and having access to new ideas, putting yourself in the way of new ideas, if you will, is going to make a difference on your life, just like you've seen it do in this drawing. Like, I'm just putting myself in a situation where there are so many options. It's out of control. I can't even handle it all. And obviously, I'm not going to handle it all. And obviously, there are things that I'm like, nope. Like, that color is not going to work. It's not happening. Like, no. I've taken it into account. I've given it a shot. Not for me. But I've got a lot of options here. And it can be a little overwhelming. Like, I don't have time, as much as I would probably legit want to go through and look at every single color possible combination. Like, I keep going back to this one. So obviously, that's something I noticed a lot too. Is when I keep going back to something, it usually means it's what I want to do. It goes for people as well. Anyway, the thing about this is, and by this I mean like the iPad and kind of making a metaphor for open-mindedness, I think that you have to have access to this. You have to have all the colors, all of these tools and things that you could switch around or whatever at your disposal, and you have to allow yourself to see those things, or else how are you going to even know all of the options? Like, if you didn't know you could change the color, like, first of all, did I just undo it? Literally look at the two different colors. This happens to me all the time, where I'm like, I have to change this completely. Like, I don't like this color, and this is the original one, and I change it to this. It's like, are you serious? Or no, it's the other way around? I don't know. I like the darker version. Either way, that's something that happens a lot, and that's a really good sign that this is what I want the color to look like. What I do think I need to clarify, if I haven't, is that an iPad is like an open mind, and there's so many options, and if you don't allow yourself to see the options, you might be missing out. I don't want you to miss out. I love my iPad. I love having an open mind to the best of my ability. Not perfect, but is anybody? Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it at that. And just my message to you is going to be this. I'm going to write it out in case you can't figure it out. Put it right here. I'm going to say, first of all, fill this layer. Second of all, I'm going to get one of my favorite pens. I'm going to say this. No, I don't like that. I do not like these letters at all. Oh God, what even happened there? But I do like the message. Do it. I swear to gosh. I swear to gosh. They've ever said that before in my life. But do it. Keep your mind open. Okay. Thanks for watching. you like this video, please subscribe to my channel because it's turned super weird and that could be fun. Bye!